Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Mokanaman at YouTube with another event review. Animaga 2019 in the city of Melbourne. We will be working in the Royal Exhibition Centre, built 1880, 20 years before Federation. I've been working out of here for about 6 years, so I was not aware of the history, and I've done some pretty crazy and cringy things, such as sawing a weed figure in half and downing a beer with the voice actor of Armoro Ray. A few minutes in, already running power around the exhibition booths and test and tagging cables. Cool wristbands. The bump in is still progressing, fluoro vests, all that sort of stuff, and I'm still testing electronic devices. Oh hell yeah, volleyball. Take a bit of a break and see what's inside with the runners. It's a bit different to the master grade, and it reminds me of that old walking spider tank Games Workshop did for Chaos. It's very much like that, which I think someone originally mashed that kit together with a ball, and Bandai followed suit with this. This would probably be a much better kit, build and articulation. Good Smiles, Mazinga Kaiser. I don't know anything about Good Smile except they're a pretty premium toy company. It's very petite pegs and holes. Probably build something similar to a Wave or a KT kit. I'm getting the plastic colours, the chunkiness of the detail. I'm getting a KT vibe out of this. And the detail is okay. Don't know if I'm that impressed with it. I'll probably have to see it finished. These P Bandis are just getting crazy. A lot of international traders. That's a cool picture. Oh man, copyright music. Got a really good view up here. It's probably about 8 going on to 9 PM, and we're just carrying cables around to set up TVs. It'll just be a good way to have a quick look around. My area still remains unset up, but it's just interesting from reviewing this convention and working with its staff. It has grown so much. All the weird music and flashing of lights, fireworks is White Night, which is happening tomorrow. It's going to close down the city after 6 PM. The area that I'm panning and walking around now, approximately 15 square meters, is the modelling Gunpla space provided. Somehow has to be filled. We're adjacent to the artists, drawing, manga, that sort of thing. Bit of a blend, share the tables. Got to fill all this, besides a little bit of a corner cut out for other activities. We need to set this up tomorrow, as I'm out of steam and I don't have all of my equipment. We'll see the crew and whatnot then. Just escaped. I don't know what the hell's going on. Must be what I was mentioning before. It's just pretty amazing, to tell the truth. There's lights and festivals everywhere. Good morning. Woke up in the city, staying at a friend's place. Didn't sleep due to extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean. The street cleaner. Anyway, got the rest of my trolley stuff that I stored in a secure location, and we'll finish bumping. I'm a bit worried as this is the second year that I'm running it completely independent. Got a bigger team, more attention, more people attending, giveaway kits, but at the same time there should be yielding a much larger reward. It's very good to talk to many different sectors of the community and getting involved in activities again. Probably the full story of what happened yesterday. I worked Thursday night through to Friday morning, getting home and getting to bed around 6-7 a.m. and getting on site at Animaga about 5 p.m. I was going to come a lot earlier, but sleep just kept in and I woke up when I woke up. Now it's pure adrenaline, even though I'm completely rested. They're looking very forward to an excellent day. After getting off site, I did have some awesome fried chicken for dinner at Nene's. It was intense. I was really craving this stuff for a while now, being on a health kick. 3.5 hours until the convention. I've already seen someone walking around in costume. That is dedication. A haul of ham, cheese, paper cups, sandwiches, water and chocolate biscuits to feed a team of about 6 or 7. I gotta say, Mexican food is just love. Having that for breakfast was absolutely perfect. Not as good as the authentic stuff, but as good as you're gonna get in Australia. Little Lonsdale Street has this Turkish-Chinese blend restaurant. I'm gonna have to try it. Probably the reason why I like to talk about food so much, and I'm a big bloke, is that a lot of the big YouTubers, modelers, bloggers that I follow, friends with, also talk a lot about food. They also like good alcohol and beautiful women. It's strange that all of this ties everybody together regardless of their size or taste, or at least in regards to the hobby. Good to see the park is empty this morning and we've just arrived on site. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's kind of cool. Haven't covered anything anime or modelling related. I think this will be a very long video. Pretty much the same state as I left. Well, let's get set up. Should only take an hour, but leisurely pace. The con is just opened and we've managed to set up. The volunteers have put the display out, the sale kits are out and everyone's going for it. Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Just check out how that cool the t-shirt is. Let's see the back.
Oh God, I love it.
Look at that, man. Top billing. Top billing.
Gosh.
We've also got a guest from Sydney. Plastic Oddities.
There we go.
And look at this beautiful t-shirt that I've got. Have a look at the back. Oh, that is so cool. Hello. And we've got some new t-shirts. You want to plug yourself?
Yep. Also been inspired by the future font aesthetic. Mostly a popular trend in vaporwave. That's basically tries to reuse a lot of 80s and 90s anime and just put them in like bootleg remixes and that.
I remember that t-shirts being in surfing and skating shops back in the day, and it sort of looked like the tags from 90s anime top 100 websites, and one said hentai on it.
Oh, yeah.
That was censored out. I regret not buying it.
Oh, come on. That would have been sick.
We got Gunpla United. Kits are starting to come in. We've got Field 5 City. This is a lovely build. I've been following the work in progress in private chat for a very long time. Lovely, clean built new Gundam by Patrick. And we've got a winning model from the GBWC. Fantastic. The GOG, built by myself, first revealed. Strike. The Plastic Oddities Strider Robot prototype presented to Tristan from Plastic Oddities. This is the revealed second kit by the Salt Mine Hobby Shop, and some figures painted from the 3D printer. The Salt Mines is a lot about stuff that I really like, and I push the hats very, very hard. We've got some Ushankas and pins, as well as a complimentary variety of tools, knockoff, Lego, build your own gel blaster kits, resin kits, Gundams, and all very, very vintage stuff. Plus a large catch of vintage Zoids that have just landed. After a bit of running around, after the show has opened, we've just been very busy, and Tristan has jumped behind the counter and is selling with me, so very good. Funnily enough, it's quite fun to run a hobby shop. Yeah, lunchtime. Eat it.
No, the best bit, boy.
You're fired. Get out.
Get it in his mouth.
Moving along very nice. These jokers that have been playing Russian roulette for the past 20 minutes, a bunch of other jokers are also playing Russian roulette. Hour to go, a respectable amount.
The soul strays.
Oi, I need to know if Bible Black Season 3 is a thing. Very important. Tristan, Season 3, what do you know?
Not much, other than
It exists. I didn't even know it existed, man. I need to do some research right here. This is crazy. Put the gun down. I'm going to have to cut the camera soon before the copyright music come in, but it's noisy, I'm tired, I'm grumpy. I don't think I'm going to film much longer because of cosplay competition stuff, and we're right in front of them. We've seen some very interesting stuff. We're going to need to get in there.
There's not really like seasons, but there's more, like heaps of OVAs they've made.
Okay.
Yeah, but not comics though. There's like the season one was like the OVA.
We're all seen season 1. So we've got a few amazing models on display for the competition made by various people of various skill levels within or outside the workshop. And we'll go for the judging process. This is one of the free model kits we've given away, the ships. And this one won one of the categories in the Australian Gunpla Builders World Cup. I'm very happy with this output of kits. Not too bad. Surprised this one didn't get me banned from Facebook. In the way of stock, got rid of some badges and the Ushanka. Just slowly gnawing away at Lego, the gel blasters, the tools, and thinning the stock of kits. I'm actually getting quite low on the small $10 kits, and a reorder is definitely on the cards. Also, as normal, the junk bits and built kits are always very popular. One of the cool knockoffs I got these Lego sets, 200 pieces, World War II German armour. Comes with 2 Nazi Lego men for angry faces. Very interesting. Even moved some of the big kits, and there's some pretty nice choices. A lot of these recurring from Expo. Funnily enough, we haven't even gone halfway through the giveaway kits. People really want robots, and we're happy to buy over accepting a free ship. Tidied and covered the area. Very, very happy. Generally half capacity, but half of our tables were stolen, so that's a bit unknown. It's pretty clean now. The salt mines front is within what I expect or really want to achieve. Quite a few models on the table. The attendees as well as the volunteers had a lot of fun. Though the important thing is with the volunteers to sit there and build is to make some sort of psychological engagement where people could see people doing crafty things, building, having fun, and they want to join in. If you've got no one sitting there in the blank area, no one's inclined to be the first to go. We'll have a walk around and say hi to a few faces. Oh shit! How did you go?
Decent.
Decent?
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
Not good.
I can do more.
Oh, there's always tomorrow. Always tomorrow.
First thing is open this stuff, and you can use the airbrush normally, and it's portable.
Yeah. Review coming out very, very shortly. I've painted the dog over there from Idiom with it in a few days at work. Don't tell my boss, Martin. This guy, bad boy. We leave the park to another white night, another Animaga. It's a lot of produce, like we had some pretty expensive yet amazing hot pot. All sorts of interesting grades of meats, tofu, fried breads, as well as organs and stuff. I found the curdled duck blood to be quite fantastic in its texture and taste. Good morning, we've reached into early Sunday. I actually had a pretty decent sleep last night, crashed and lost count of how many hours. Feel rested even though it wasn't that long, and very happy with yesterday's results. Now at this stage I feel the video may not actually be that crash hot due to how busy I was running the store, running the workshop and assisting in other aspects of Animaga. It went very smoothly, but just not a lot of content has been contributed or documented. Definitely have taken photos to share around on social media. However, the new team gathered together, really gelled well together. A few people unfortunately couldn't have made it, and I wish they've had their work on display and interact. But having Tristan from Sydney come in and interact and see what these events have been like all along has been quite a treat, and seeing him for the first time in a while. Plastic Oddities, do love his content, and sent him some pretty interesting products along the way that will eventually appear on his content. I also showed Tristan this very old exercise orange book I had that I'll take notes at meetings and what occurred at the very earlier meets once I started getting involved. The first dates being 2010, and little stickers of when we were selling second-hand kits at these events, so someone had something to build that were sourced at cost and sold through free labour for other people to be introduced and shared with the hobby. This is where we'll eventually discovered by Hobby Co, larger shops, eventually Bandai, and even being visited by Bandai Singapore, and offered sponsorship where official shops trading at these events granted us these very basic blue frame Gundam kits and others later down the track to give away at these events, which gave us larger space, more opportunities and more people that wanted to get involved. But as mentioned earlier on with the volunteers I got, very dedicated, passionate modelers in the local industry and hobby, they just sat around and built most of the day, answered questions, talked to all sorts of people that took interest, and people were engaged and want to know what was going on because you had all these tools and projects and something's going to appear on social media or competitions, and people had questions about painting and modifying and all that, and they happened to answer it in passing. And that may seem like a very easy and fun job and going like, man, I could sit there and talk about modelling all day, but to organise it and put it together, I don't think it's really that appreciated. That it just needs to come together for people to interact with modelers in their natural habitat, working on those projects to inspire others. And that is all the hard work of the Animaga people and the people that rocked up. I do know the otaku weeb culture definitely has a really bad reputation, and from the limited things I did saw and some people I interacted with, there were definitely some creepy vibes out there. A lot of awkward people, but I just generally really like the environment of openness where people are free to express how they wish through dress, projects, presentations, art sources and styles going on stage and doing their thing, as we were directly exposed to that, even though it was a very noisy environment. But to see people in costume or their t-shirts bringing in their art, drawing art on the stage via camera and presenting items that they've created and playing around, that's what I definitely work and strive for. And working towards an event like that could make such an atmosphere of sharing, I think it's what it's all about. And a lot of people do say that Melbourne is the hotbed of the hobby community. It's the Australian Centre of Gunpla, modelling, all that sort of thing. The other conventions do seem to be a lot bigger, but definitely a lot of people in regional areas, other cities around Australia, other parts of the world are pretty jealous and admit that they would love to have an event very similar to that being hosted in their area and city to contribute or volunteer to. What they don't necessarily understand is the time that takes to prepare, the resources and money is quite extreme in the extent that it can't quite come out of the pocket of just a few people living a day-to-day lifestyle job budget. Efforts have been done by countless people well over a decade ago, established at community events, and even things that I've not even been involved with at the very start, but inspired by witnessing. And realistically, the only way others can have events in their areas, regardless of the culture, community, country, is to start something very small. A few people gathering at a house, a garage, a spare room at a library, and build up from that. And that's where this event exactly has started. And there is a photo, if I can dig it up, of 6 people in a room, the early 2000s, building model Zoids in the University of Melbourne at a smallish event called Manifest, once grown, definitely reviewed on this channel. I happened to be walking past, snapped a photo and went, hey, I like modelling as well. I used to do a lot of building at these events and even finish entire and painted basic kits and Mekanaman stuff. Did not have the time to touch a single runner, but very happy for other people to take the mantle. All I did was sell, run the salt mines, and a bit of paperwork. I can take very little responsibility in all of this coming together. It's just growing at a rapid rate with the mass changes of the scene. This is a very rambly video. In the end, if you're asking this question, why don't we have this event in X country, city, whatever I can attend to, start small, start the grass movement yourself, and other more competent, more skilled people will come and fill the roles. It will just automatically happen as long as ego is kept at the door. Very rustic. Let's do some more random stuff. Got a winner, might regret it. Oh, seafood was a bad idea. All the supermarkets are closed till 9:10. A little expensive, but we've got salad sandwich fodder. And we're on site.
Missed the action last night.
No, I was there.
I've got this tea. Just looked at it.
Unit 13.
Everyone has looked at. Fat people looked at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, people loved them. Well, you know, I don't never had any
Oh,
problem.
they're very hard to come across, so they're pretty easy to sell.
Well, they are now.
Got some kits here for sale. Setting up slowly. Yeah, the new nipper looks very similar to Xuron after all. Hand toys. A very respectable range of kits. The frame arms seem to be pretty special. Hang on, what the hell is that? Oh, that's cool. And a few of these. There's quite the massive wall here from Anime Town. Oh, that one I could definitely really want. whole art area is almost half of the entire convention. And a quick area of the activities, the origami, the art, right to the stage, which was the biggest cause of quite a bit of the noise yesterday. Quite a bit of glimpses of cosplay and whatnot. All finally set up. All of the stalls, staff and volunteers are on standby. The doors will literally open in a few minutes. Time for day 2. Got a GBWC prize kit, Smoke RX-78s. About 100 or so of these are manufactured every year, or at least a box. The runners are made in a much higher volume. Standard instructions. You get a very opaque clear, as well as a slight smokiness to it, but the weapons and extra bits are your standard grey.
Yeah. It's nice. The colours were inspired by the
Lovely made costume and gun. Fantastic. On the main stage they're playing some sort of porno visual novel game. It's pretty quiet, it's getting close to midday. We've gotten very few in the workshop, but the hall is starting to fill up more. On the other half of lunch we should have a few groups going, but I'm not very optimistic. You can see that there's a general milling of people going around. I had a look at Anime Town and they had a few garage resin conversion kits, and some of the other larger stalls going deeper also had a small contingency of kits. A lot of interest out there, definitely. There's a make your own badge workshop. Got quite a few people milling around constantly at video games and traders, celebrities as well.
I've got a couple of
After lunch, we're finally done it. The workshop is almost full and pretty busy. And got a very healthy lunch. Cheap though. Playing around with the Gel Blaster and Ushanka, I've learned that some of my colleagues in the trading area have had a bit of shoplifting going on. The very, very expensive and large anime figures. 4 to 5 gone missing to a grand total of about 1.5k. The positioning of the shops is a bit irresponsible, but it is a bit tragic when such a thing is rife on a day like today. Getting a little building, sales have been disappointing, but quite a few people have been looking at the models. Some of them have been collected since, a few hours to go. I have a bit of a walk around as it's gone quiet again. Señor Lolita and the gaming section is quite busy. I was summoned to the art competition, which is a tatter filming, but I want to capture the images out of respect on camera to put in an opinion of a different point of perspective, and that was quite interesting. I'll check out a couple of traders and say hello, I guess. That's cool. Very old tunic. The robes we looked at earlier are actually traditional formal attire for samurai or noble households. Only $150. Definitely tempted. Would not look good wearing it, and that is a bit of an issue. End of day, last hour rush. Really moving some stuff now. 15 minutes to go and start to close down and pack up. Really big rush, doing quite well. Pack up begins. The announcements and the other traders doing very similar. I'll send the activities box back to Dante. We've got about 40 of the ships left, so they were not very popular to build opposed to the very simple Gundams. It's starting to definitely get the fluoro vests out. Final amount of people being removed. The pallet jacks are also rolling. And final round of the area in the semi-stage of being set up. The volunteers worked very hard, so they've been sent home. I don't want them touching the salt mine stuff as it is a personal interest. It's my labour alone. The apron has come off, and also at that vintage kimono shop I bought this samurai robes as a gift to my old man, collector of samurai memorabilia for sure. 100-year-old, very cool. Absolutely respectable. I think I'm 50 short on my end goal. Very happy. And just a quick review of the staff card and lovely lanyard. One box down, one box to go, and everything's getting thinner. Everything as fits in the two boxes. It's time to wheel our glorious trolley out of here and say goodbye to all the happy people bumping out. Man, I'm tired. Looking forward to get home and crashing. Mr. Dante, I notice you have not worked at your stall multiple times this weekend. Yeah, very funny. Concludes the event. I haven't done a final tally, but I've got a rough idea, and moving one or two things to traders and end of day folk. I've reached all goals, had a decent amount of people turn up. The feedback from attendees, the events, the organisers have been quite excellent. Leaving the venue right now, a good note, high spirits. The new team worked really well, talking to the higher levels of the community again with potential collaboration on the Bandai front and the rest of Australia. Let's see where this new future will take the channel, as well as this newly formed workshop and the salt mines, of course. A lot of people love the feedback about the injection moulding kit and the Star Strider robot being something for sale, with interests of buying it and building it, regardless of being practically 80s technology glued together and having a few quirks. The concept of just new technology is interesting and fascinating. Fucking possum. One last look at the night sky. We're back at the studio a day after, and we have added the lanyard to the whole collection, dating back all the way to 2006. Here is the haul. I have not spent much money, a bit short at the moment. But I'm very grateful to the t-shirt I got from Tristan, the Australian Mushroom Krieger Builders Group. Man, that's really nice. And the other guys, we've got the GCA Mokanaman GN powered Gunpla NT jacket with the vintage picture at the front. From a friend, I swapped for this P Bandai Super Fumina, which I've been after for a very long time. and just swapped it for a very cheap kit. It's already built. I'm just going to fill the seam lines and airbrush it up, add it to the collection. Not too bad at all. And that is it. The conclusion of the video. The event was definitely a massive success. Not very big numbers of people going through the workshop, however, still pretty useful to the event itself. Enough people are gone in to garner a lot of attention and interacting with more casual hobbyists and getting them into more intense aspects of the hobby, such as painting, modifying, building, giving cheap access to tools, knowledge, directing them to communities, all that sort of thing. And people who are just taking a slight interest in wanting to know what it's all about with the display and people sitting down and building, they're able to have a understanding and taste and see what the whole thing is all about. We're definitely being invited, and we're coming back next year. I'm going to have a very similar team and just try to get a bit bigger, a little more attention and more people attending. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, a big thank you to everyone who volunteered and helped, who visited the workshop, who interacted with the salt mines, especially those who put a model on the table to display. Without those guys, would have had absolutely nothing. And Tristan from Paint on Plastic for the visit. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed yourself and you got quite a bit out of it. It looks like I'll be attending the GBWC next year and I'll be hanging out with you. Catch you guys next time.